All right, in today's video, we're going to doodle these three and a couple more ghosties, or ghosts. I've just been calling them ghosties lately. We're going to first sketch out in the with a brush in the sketching section called the 6B pencil. I just like the texture this gives. I think I have the stabilization turned up, so you can go and do that in your brush settings. I'll show you how to do that with my monoline brush in just a little bit. So we're going to make a couple of circles. These are going to be the tops of the ghosties' heads. You don't have to do a perfect circle, but that's what I prefer because I just feel like it gives it a cute little cartoony effect. So we're going to start with just some random circles on the page, and we're going to go along the line of the circle when we go, like, bring the line down. You can see I didn't quite follow on my way back up. I tend to be more accurate going down. So I come to this point and then I bring down the other way. That just is what works best for me. So that one's going to be kind of like long and simple. This one, you could do a similar thing, just make it like a short ghosty. Or you could flare out the sides like I do here. Do a couple of ripples there. You could also do the ripples more intense, like it's a little bit more of like an A-line sheet. Accidentally undid that, so I'm gonna go ahead and redo that. I've tried to keep this as like real time as possible so you can learn. I feel like I learn better when people don't like speed through. So you could also do kind of like a teardrop shape. You could also have that like going straight down. I didn't show that as an option. I wanted to make this circle bigger without having to redraw everything. So using the selection tool there, now we're gonna sketch out another option with a little bit more like variability and higher peaks. So they're just a little different there from that one. You could also just like follow nothing at all, make it really funny and cute. I just kind of whipped that one out. Wasn't really planning on doing a fourth one, but I wanted to show options. So now we're going to turn the opacity down on our sketch layer. We're going to go to the calligraphy section and go to monoline. I have the stabilization turned up and the streamline turned up. Stabilization only have about 30% up. Streamline I have about all the way up. So that's how you can add like presets on your brushes. So, and now we'll just trace around it. And I'll show this in real time, let you know that I don't always get it right on the first time. You can see it's kind of lumpy. I like my lines to be really clean, but I'll show you here how I'm going to make it look a little bit more clean. So I used the, basically you draw a circle and then you long hold, wait for the little blue dots to pop up, and then you tap another finger on the screen, and that makes it into a perfect circle. You can see I don't really get it perfect every time. And even here I didn't get the line up perfect, so I'll clear out where the two lines met and then just bring them together best I can. I didn't like that, so try again. You could also erase a bigger patch between the two lines, and that would make it easier to get it a little more exact. Okay, so we're just going to leave that as is because you can't really tell. So I'm just going to trace around these for the sake of time, even though it still takes me a million times to redo it. Higher peaks. Didn't like how that angle worked out, so here we are. If I was on something like Adobe, I could just shift the pixels around, but we're on Procreate, and this is how Procreate works. We're going to do another one here. And this one I end up changing partway through, but that's, yeah, we'll start that one over. I do the same method where I make it this way. I also adjusted this one a little bit more so it matched up with the sketch layer a little bit better just to make it easier on me. And there we are with the rest of our little sheet. And then we're going to trace over this one. I made it a little bit more funky. I just thought this one was so cute. Now we're going to add some eyes to this one. These ones I did ovals and kind of angled the tops inward, and then I just did a little mouth. I think that one's so cute. I can't handle it. I wasn't even planning on doing that one, but I'm glad I did. This one, I don't love how the eyes turned out on this one, so you can see I change them later. I just do some bigger circles and use the selection layer to shift those ones over, and then I wanted these circles to match in size a little better. And then I dropped in. On a new layer, I added some like white accents, but I really did not like how they turned out. So this is an option for you. You could play with this. Added some dots. Didn't love that one. So I think the eyes were too big for the shape of it. So we changed the eyes because I did not love that one. Anyways, back to black. If you tap the bottom of this circle in the very first section of the color drop down menu, it takes you to like exactly black. So you have to like drag there. You just double tap and there it is. This one you didn't see in the preview because I didn't like how it turned out either. But I copy and pasted. That went really fast. But if you select something and then down at the bottom copy and paste, it'll copy and paste whatever's in that layer that you selected into a new layer. But it was in a clipping mask, which is why it didn't show up at first and I had to drag it up. Those ones I just did all the same size, just 3 taps. That's a really simple option for a face you could do. Now we're going to add some eyebrows. I liked this one the best, but I show you could do like a shocked, a mad, really shocked. But I really liked the inquisitive, like, This one, I feel like the eyebrows don't look good. That's just why I just passed by it. And this is when I was like, you know what? I am going to clear this out. I don't like this one. We're going to make it look cute. So we're going to do 2 circles and then we're going to make it, I thought about doing the shocked and I was like, no, we're going to do a smile after I do the eyebrows. This is my creative process in real time. I'm just kind of dinking around. The nice thing about doing things on all different layers is it makes things really easy to change. We're going to add some blush. Blush was way too big, so made it a little smaller and just did 2 little lines there. And I go into the process of adding eyebrows to this guy, but I really think he's just so cute, so I don't think he needs eyebrows. Like, no. Okay, now we're going to add some shading. So we're going to add a new layer. And this color that I'm using, it's like an off yellow, but like grayish yellow. And we're going to be in a new layer with this one, and it's going to be below our line layer. So it makes it really easy to just hug right by the black line layer. And then we're going to lower the opacity just because we want just a little bit of a shadow, nothing too dramatic. This is how I do my shadows for a ghost. You just kind of bring up another arch, and then I usually add a shadow to both sides of the sheet. This one will be fun. We'll add them up a little higher and just kind of like mimicking the arch. So it looks like it's just kind of picking up and is casting a shadow because they're kind of overlapping each other. We're going to add a little on the bottom on that one and a little on the top. Again, you can probably barely even tell, but I just like adding just a little bit of visual interest. This one I picked it up a little higher, and then I decided like, oh, I had an idea with a ghost and I realized I'd forgotten to do it. So we're going to erase the bottom half in a second. Yeah, so I show that you could do something like that. But now we're going to, I can't remember what I'm going to do. I know I'm going to change this. Okay, yeah, so we're going to erase the bottom, and I'm going to show like as if the sheet over the ghost is not symmetrical all the way around. Like it's like higher in the front and lower in the back. So then we're just going to come and like do another little swoop in the bottom. And then we're going to add a darker shadow on that in between to show like the shadow that's like on the inside of the ghost floating. I also think this one would be cute if you added like some legs, like as if it was like a little kid wearing a sheet. And you could do like sunglasses on the ghost. So we're doing a little bit lighter of a shadow for those little pickups to show the shadows in between. And then just a little on the side. Just a little visual interest makes things a little more interesting, catches the eye a little more. Now I wanted to add some color so I could add a highlight on the top left of each of the ghosts' heads. So I did just a slightly lighter color than I did the shadows. And just color dropped it, so I just dragged it all the way around. And boop. So now we're going to go back to our shadow layer and we're going to go and get a whiter color. I tried to find the right one. You can see I have to kind of play with it. And then I just chose like hard white, but it doesn't show up as hard white because I have the layer opacity a little lower. So this isn't like a super strong option with the shadow or the highlight, but I like just something a little similar. I can't get my thought out, but I like just having that little bit of detail on the shadows and highlights. So we've got this one. I'm realizing now at the end of the video I should have added little shadows underneath all the ghosts, but I did not do that. So I'm adjusting in the adjustments tab the brightness, so I made it a little darker just so you could see that highlight just a little bit better. This is me realizing I did not like the way this one turned out. I think I would have not flared out the sides so much and not made the eyes so big. But the video was getting long and I decided to scrap it. So now we're gonna move this guy up. So if you're ever using the freestyle selection, if you just tap, you don't have to draw all the way around. You could just tap around and it will connect the lines. So this one we're going to add again. I decided just to color drop it in this way and then erase after. I felt like that was easier than tracing all the way around. But you do you, boo-boo. So we're going to erase those. And add our highlight. Go back into this layer. And I actually decided, and I realized I grabbed the shadow's literally the exact same color. Even though I changed the opacity, I still colored or like grabbed the color from the other ghost. This one I'm going to add a little bit of white here. Just a little visual interest. Anyways, thanks for watching this ghost doodle. Feel free to comment below and subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks for watching.